What's up, fantasy sports fans? Philly D here on No Limit Fantasy Sports. Today is Tuesday, Week 4 NFL. Let's take a look back at the Week 3 NFL action first, and then I'll give you a little preview. Sign up to No Limit Fantasy Sports. Use the link in the description. You'll get 10 free NLC coins and a 25% deposit bonus. That is good for that's not just a introductory promo. That is every time you deposit, they'll give you 25% bonus. Alright, so let's take a look at Week 3 action here. I had a pretty good week. Okay, there we go. Yeah, alright. Smaller. Alright. Played some head-to-heads and a couple tournaments. A little bit better in the tournaments than the head-to-heads. Here's the results. So, couple double up, 760, 760, 15, 20, couple tournament finishes, 13 NLC, and look right at the top there, 19,800 NLC won in a head-to-head matchup, right there, so that was nice. Obviously, had a pretty good week. Made a couple tournament cashes, and like I said, if you check out my last video, I was talking about an overlay alert. This Joe Theismann tournament. There ended up being it was a 100-team entry, and there was only 29 teams that entered, and you could enter 5 teams, and they paid the top 21. So it was pretty. I cashed all 5 teams in that tournament. So it's free money, guys. What's NLC? It's a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Basically, it's digital cash that's used all over the world. It's not like a American currency or Canadian currency, Australian currency. It's good everywhere, all over the world. It's growing. I'm surprised how many people don't know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You will. So yeah, it's basically the money we're using on the computer now. You know, PayPal's not very secure. Nobody wants to put their credit card information, bank information on the internet with hackers and all that stuff. So we use a digital currency, and basically it's safe, it's fast, and you don't have to deal with banks and all that, so you don't pay transaction fees. I know the coin they use here, No Limit coin, the transaction fee, it doesn't matter how much you send, it's 0.0001 cents for a transaction. It's ridiculous. Like, that goes for $1, that goes for $1 million. It's awesome. So yeah, check this site out, guys. Like I said, it's small. It's basically free money. If you know, for avid fantasy players and even casual players, right, are just torching this site. It's awesome. So here's a look at Week 4. Week 3 was absolutely what a gong show. I can't believe I cashed. I didn't cash in every tournament I played, but I played about like $100 NLC, which is like $20 in tournaments, and then I played like $2,000 in cash games. So I cashed. Well, you saw, like, an NLC coin is worth about 20 cents, I believe. So I won like 23,000 NLC. so that makes like 4,000 bucks. But yeah, I played like 2,000 in cash games, doubled up in almost all of them. Congratulations to Joe Theismann. I played Joe Theismann again this week. I played him last week. I beat him by 4 points. We played again this week, and he beat me by about 52 points. He had Diggs. He had a great week. Let's put it that way. I couldn't believe like Diggs, and I think he had Sammy Watkins. I can't remember, but yeah, I played against Joe Theismann. That's something. That's, you know, this site's brand new, and they got Joe Theismann playing here. So you definitely want to get on this site. It's No Limit Sports. The link is below. Check it out, guys. I love this site. It's almost exactly like DraftKings. It's PPR. The only difference so far is the lineup. It's 2 wide receivers, not 3. Other than that, it's the same. The salary, and they have kickers. Sorry, but all the kickers, we'll start there, are the same price, 2,500 bucks, which is awesome. I hate picking kickers. First look at kickers. I went with Tavecchio last week. He let me down, but I still love the guy. I mean, he made his kick. I thought that Oakland-Washington game was going to be just really high scoring, and Oakland obviously didn't show up. There's Tavecchio. We're playing Denver. Probably a great... Well, you know, I like him. Dan Bailey obviously is a great kicker. For me, when I pick a kicker, I want to pick a guy that can boom one over 50. I look at one stat in particular, and that's field goals over 50 yards. Tavecchio's perfect. Prater is perfect. Over 50 yards for Detroit. The Philadelphia kicker, 61-yarder last week. He might be worth picking up. Not Sturgis. What's his name? I'm bad with names. Which is awesome when you're playing fantasy football. You should remember names pretty easily. This guy, Jake Elliott. Yeah. Boomed a 61-yarder last week. Trust me, that boy's swag is on like 250 right now, and I trust him going forward. That's for darn sure. Game-winning field goal from 60 yards. Yeah, he'll be good this year. While we're at the end here, let's check out defense. There's one in particular I like and I wanted to talk about. Jacksonville, where are they? Oh, I got them by teams. Let's go back to salary here. Boom, boom. Alright, the Jags. Wow. Did they ever lay it down to Baltimore? So I have 2 thoughts on this. A, the Jags are pretty good defense. They did roll over to Tennessee, but Tennessee just put the beat down on Seattle. So I like the Tennessee offense. I mean, you got DeMarco Murray rolling on all cylinders. Mariota, great quarterback. Eric Decker waking up. And then you got Rashard Matthews. This guy, did you see that Rashard Matthews touchdown where he ran right into Earl Thomas and just did like a little 360 and went right by him? Like, that was awesome. Anyway, so I like the Tennessee offense. I'm not picking against them. I like the Jacksonville defense. They're priced really high. They're playing the Jets, no wonder. The Jets did beat Miami, but Miami can fall asleep at any time, any game, anytime. And you guys will notice I did not pick Jay Ajayi. I did not pick Jay Cutler. I just didn't go there. Jay Cutler is a quarterback I'm just never going to pick. I've seen him in dream matchups before. Like, absolutely let me down. So one of the defenses I would love to target, yes, right here. Baltimore's offense is not looking good. They're playing the Steelers. I don't expect this game to be high scoring, so it'll probably be like 90 points. But I do like the Steelers defense. I picked them last week. They got me 10 points. And against Baltimore, they might get you a ton of points. The Giants woke up last week, so they might be worth picking up. We got Tampa Bay playing the Giants. Is Tampa Bay going to roll over now? Consider the Giants defense. I bet they're dirt cheap too. We see Tampa Bay all the way up here. There they are. No, that's the Saints. Oh, there they are. The Giants. You know, 2,900. 3,000 is cheap. Under 3,000 is, you know, you're taking a chance. And if you're, I like taking a chance on the Giants. You know, the Rams against Dallas. There's another one. You never know what you're gonna get with Dallas. Minnesota and Detroit. Minnesota did beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay, but I think Tampa Bay kind of took it easy in that game. I'm not all in on Case Keenum, let's put it that way. Who I will give some props to, did operate that offense, and he is a decent quarterback, but he's not Tom Brady yet. Alright, so there's a couple defenses. I'll tell you what, the Seattle defense, I just don't know what to think of. And Seattle's had dream matchups. They had the 49ers. They could, you know, they barely took care of business there. Indianapolis, like, you would figure the Seattle's going to win like 35-6, but Indianapolis just came off a great game. Jacoby Brissett, little mobile quarterback. Seattle just, I don't know what's wrong with their defense. What's wrong with their offense? Sherman, like, needs therapy. Anyways, the Pack against the Bears, like, I don't like it. I mean, the Packers' defense is beat up. Their offense is beat up. It's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks. Cincinnati against Cleveland. Kaiser for Cleveland is great. Cincinnati does have a good defense, but I'm not liking it. So the Steelers I like. The Jaguars I like, but they're priced so high. It could be a trap. You know what I mean? It's a trap. Who knows what we're going to get with the Jets next week. Alright, now let's get on to the meat and potatoes here. Let's go to QB. What do we got? We got Brady. Obviously, the man is playing lights out. No interceptions this year. He did have that fumble for touchdown, which I would call an interception, but they're not. Playing Carolina. New Orleans just destroyed Carolina, but you got to know one thing: Drew Brees can destroy any team. It just could be where Drew Brees is going to throw for 500 yards. It doesn't matter who the defense is. And Tom Brady against Carolina. I mean, that's about as safe as you can get picking Tom Brady, right? Aaron Rodgers against Chicago. I mean, I love that play, but the offensive line for Green Bay is decimated. So we'll see. Maybe Chicago shows up. Could be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm excited. In that game, I like Tariq Cohen, the Chicago player. I mean, Jordan Howard is like playing with one arm, and yes, he's doing a great job, but how much can he possibly take? Atlanta, Buffalo. Buffalo woke up against Denver. I think they go back to sleep against Atlanta, and vice versa. Atlanta fell asleep last week, and I think they get the win this week. They got lucky last week, that's for darn sure, against Detroit. That controversial ending. So it should be a good game. Quarterbacks have been really tough to pick, unless you've been picking like Tom Brady week 2, week 3, or like a really sleeper quarterback. Drew Brees against Miami, I love it. You gotta love Drew Brees. You never know what you're gonna get. Is he gonna get sacked 8 times, or is he gonna throw 6 touchdowns? Carson Wentz against the Chargers. We got Bosa on the Chargers. They're not winning, but it's not because of their defense. Let's get that straight. Kirk Cousins had a great game, and now they're playing KC. They just beat the AFC West team in Oakland, and not only beat them, but you know they like owned them. It was awesome. So I don't know about this game with Kansas City. Is Washington hot now? And like, if you're a Kirk Cousins fan, then you're gonna pick him regardless of who he's playing. So yeah, KC a pretty good defense though. I might pick them. They might be very underowned. Mariota against Houston. Houston, awesome defense. Tom Brady picked them apart. So we'll see how they bounce back against Tennessee. That's usually a very good game. Houston usually gets the better of that one. Alex Smith against Washington. We just went over that. I do like it, but Washington's defense definitely got their stuff together the other day. So the offensive line of Kansas City versus the defensive line of Washington. And Josh Norman on Washington. Just nobody even throws at him. It's awesome. Dak Prescott had a great game, and they're playing the Rams. That might be a good play. I mean, Brian Hoyer destroyed the Rams, and who knows? Teams like to show up against Dallas, though. Like Washington or Arizona gave them a run for their money last night for quite some time. So, Stafford against Minnesota. I don't know what you're gonna get there. He'll probably play good. Last week was so contrarian. I think out of all the games, I had like 6 picked right. It was pretty terrible. Bennett against Baltimore. I mean, I don't like it, but Bortles destroyed them. So, we'll see. I think Pittsburgh's getting there. They got to get their stuff together. They lost to Washington. You know they're coming out like with a game plan this week. Cam against New England. Normally I would love, but I mean Cam just folded against New Orleans. Like, can you trust him against New England? It's a great matchup, but I don't know. I don't like it. James Winston not impressing me so far. Let's get to something that is impressing me. If you look at this matchup, he plays the Jets last week, lets you down, and now the New Orleans Saints this week. Jay Cutler. Interesting play. Are you going to give him an extra shot? I mean, the Jets were desperate to win. New Orleans shut down Cam, so here's a nice play for, in my opinion, is Andy Dalton against Cleveland. Now, I'm going to take a lot of heat for this, but I might pick Andy Dalton as my quarterback. Cleveland's not very good. Like, they've never been really that good. They're picking it up, yes. They keep it interesting, yes. Andy Dalton at 5,800 should be able to give you about 20 fantasy points. But like Jay Cutler, I do not overly trust him. I picked him in week 1, and he got like 4 fantasy points, I think. Maybe 3. So I'm very reluctant at that, but I might throw him in a tournament lineup. Sam Bradford probably won't be playing against Detroit, but Detroit's defense is looking pretty hot, so I'm going to stay away from Case Keenum in that case too. Jared Goff against Dallas. He probably will have a good game. Dallas' defense, I mean, we are, like, did you see Carson Palmer? Carson Palmer looked like Tom Brady in the first half, or the first quarter and a half. Tyrod Taylor, sneaky play. He's doing pretty good. Atlanta does have a good defense, but Tyrod, he's got game, and he's cheap. And I mean, he just showed Denver how, you know, what's up. So he's pretty much matchup proof in my book. DeShone Kizer against Cincinnati. I think it's going to be a long day for him. I do love him, but I love both these guys. Watson too. Watson against Tennessee. Tennessee just gave, you know, Russell Wilson 400 yards or something like that. So there's a nice play right here. I love it. If you want to go cheap at quarterback, Deshaun Watson. I like that play for sure. So I'm going to leave it at that, I believe. Jacoby Brissett. Newsflash. Andrew Luck back at practice this week. So expect him back in a couple weeks. Playing Seattle, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, if Seattle's going to get their crap together, let's get it together now. I mean, Indianapolis, like, gosh, like, I don't want to see them win like 12-10. I want to see them win like 39-0. Like, they need a game. Like, nobody's taking Seattle seriously. I know I'm not. Right? Moving on. Running backs. Le'Veon Bell still number 1 against Chicago. Baltimore. Jacksonville just ran all over Baltimore, so you would think I've been picking Le'Veon Bell each and every week. He's been letting me down. Last week he got the 24 points, which is okay. So I think he's coming to life. Baltimore does have a pretty decent pass defense until last week, so we'll see. I like Le'Veon Bell. Kareem Hunt's been arguably the best running back of the year. Price is reflecting that 8,500. Playing Washington, I love the play, but Washington did show up last game, so I might fade him a little bit. LaShawn McCoy was not happy last game. Didn't have a great game against Denver, even though they won. He was like the one player that wasn't like picking them apart. Look for him to get it back together with Atlanta. Atlanta is you can run on Atlanta. And LaShawn McCoy, I mean, this is how it is. It's Tyrod Taylor is either handing the ball off to LaShawn McCoy or throwing it to Charles Clay. Or running it. Those are the three options. So LaShawn McCoy is a third of that team, if not more. So I love him. And the price is a little bit expensive this week, so I'm not so sure how many lineups I'll have him in, but I do like him. Zeke came to play last night. It's awesome to see him get his groove back. How Stella got her groove back. Let's do Ezekiel, baby. Playing the Rams. We saw Carlos Hyde last week gash the Rams. But again, the same kind of team, right? The 49ers just use Hyde until he can't walk anymore. Dallas needs to do the same thing if they're going to beat the Rams. Control that clock. So Ezekiel against Todd Gurley. And look who's right underneath Todd Gurley against Dallas. They're both around the same price. I do like Gurley a little bit better in this game. I mean, they are using him a ton, and he is producing. So either one of these plays I like. I wouldn't even mind playing both of them, to be honest with you. But Gurley's definitely involved in that offense, so I like that. Montgomery, questionable. They need to give him a break. I picked him last week. He did okay. Playing Chicago, they don't need to hurt him in this game. I hope they spare him a little bit. Jay Ajayi, big disappointment last week. Got the dream matchup again this week against New Orleans. But he took some hit last week. It just says active. I don't know. He's questionable in my book. He took a huge hit in the beginning of the game. Didn't produce at all. Devontae Freeman, always a good play. Playing Buffalo, I don't really care. It doesn't matter who he plays. He's putting up points. I like him. He's getting a touchdown every game. Melvin Gordon, questionable. McCaffrey, great pickup. Great game lately. He's not getting into the end zone, but they don't have Benjamin. I don't know what's up with Olsen, so McCaffrey might be a great play. They're using Jonathan Stewart, but they're throwing to McCaffrey, and he's doing really good. Quietly had a great game. 10 catches, 191 yards. And this, like I said, he's a great little player. I like the rookies this week. Fournette's another one for Jacksonville against the Jets. I think he'll have a great game. They use him a lot. I watched him in that game against Baltimore. He's a beast. Here's another one. This is where I'm living right here. McCaffrey, Fournette, Hyde, and Cook. If you're playing me, I guarantee you're going to see one of these guys on my lineup. I love Hyde. They're using him like 40% of the plays. We're playing Arizona, and that's another play for me, by the way. I like the Brian Hoyer as quarterback in Arizona. He's probably dirt cheap. Let's check that out, actually. I'm going to slip over to quarterback. Check out San Francisco. Hoyer right there. 4,800, guys. That's dirt cheap. And he's playing Arizona. Arizona's, they got a great run defense, but pass defense, very suspect right now. Yes, they got Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Matthews, but they get behind and they kind of fold, and I don't really like that. Alright, yeah, here we go. So we're back at McCaffrey, Hyde, and Cook. I love all these guys. Cook against Detroit, right? Hyde against Arizona. I'm not sure. I played Hyde last week, and he got injured on the third play. I almost like threw my chair through the TV. But then he came back, scored 2 touchdowns, and I apologize to my TV for wanting to throw a chair through it. Next, David Johnson obviously not playing. DeMarco Murray, here's another cheap play. Tennessee against Houston. You don't really like to see them a running back against Houston, that's for sure. Jordan Howard for Chicago. He is injured. They got him as active. He's active. He's playing with one arm against Green Bay. Great matchup. I love it. But I like his counterpart as well, right down here, Tariq Cohen. He's getting some snaps. He's playing Green Bay. I love that one too. Joe Mixon starting to get more snaps. C.J. Anderson did not have a good game last week. Very disappointing. They're playing Oakland. Look for him to bounce back. Jamal Charles is picking up the snaps though, which is very encouraging. Keep an eye on that. Chris Thompson, here we go. Absolute dynamite week. 14 touches, like 40 fantasy points, playing KC. So look for a lot of third downs. Look for them to get Chris Thompson involved. Their other running back, Samaj P. Ryan, injured. I'm not even sure what the heck happened to him, but yeah, look for Thompson to get a ton of points. We'll finish it there. Look at beast mode all the way down to 5,000 against Denver. Running backs against Denver tend to not do so well. Moving on to wide receivers. We got Antonio, had a blow-up week last week. Then we got Odell Beckham and Julio Jones. Julio Jones questionably took a monster hit last game, which I think should have been called. Anyways, if he's not good to go, I love Freeman. Sanu also becomes like their number one receiver. I don't think they put Gabriel as number one receiver, but that changes everything. So keep an eye on Julio Jones. If Julio's out, first of all, Freeman and even Coleman, the other running back, they might need to put them both on the field the whole game. You take Julio Jones out the game, like he is the game. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when New York's playing without Odell Beckham. Like, they're just nothing. New York was invisible until Odell Beckham decided to catch, make amazing catch after amazing catch against Philly. So Odell Beckham, welcome back. We're playing Tampa Bay. They've been exposed on the back end. We'll see how that goes. I like them. Antonio Brown against Baltimore. I like it. I love Antonio Brown. Obviously, he's the best. But Baltimore's, they did get destroyed last week. But their defense, I like the defense. I really do. It's a tough call for me. I do love the next play. Obviously, I've been picking him, and he's been producing for me a little bit more. Last week got me the 20 fantasy points is AJ Green. It just doesn't matter. AJ Green, it's Antonio Brown, it's Odell Beckham Jr., it's Julio Jones, and it's AJ Green. These guys, the top 5, and Jordy Nelson, I don't know. I can't. When you go in tiers, the best wide receivers, you think of these 3, right? OBJ, Antonio, and Julio. I throw AJ Green in there. I do. And if you want to make an argument for Jordy Nelson and Mike Evans, okay. But, I mean, you can't deny AJ Green. Sorry. Playing Cleveland. All right. This guy's going to be super high owned. Look at that price, $8,600, reflecting that. And they don't have the cornerback that used to shut him down, Hayden, anymore. So, love that matchup. Jordy Nelson going to eat against Chicago. That's a given. I love him at 77. Cooks had a monster game last week. This week playing Carolina. The secondary's not very good. I love that play. Mike Evans playing the Giants. The Giants, are they going to show up now? I don't know. Mike Evans still going to get 1 billion targets. I love him. Michael Thomas finally had a good game. Playing Miami, expect him to have another good game. Keenan Allen, healthy and loves that football. playing Philadelphia. I love it. Philadelphia is destroyed on the back end. I might be picking up Keenan Allen. A lot of wide receivers to pick this week, especially with Julio gone. It makes it easier. Stephon Diggs, yes, he had a great game, but he'll be playing against Detroit. Their cornerback, of course, the name's not coming to me. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to try. I know he has a difficult last name, too. It starts with an S. Anyways, look into that. I don't like Diggs this week. I love Diggs. He is proven to be one of the best. I don't like the matchup against Detroit. You see the hit Julio took? Julio's 6'4". Anyways, Doug Baldwin, questionable. He'll be out. I don't see him coming back from. He's probably got like 3 broken ribs. So look for Tyler Lockett. You want to look for a sleeper wide receiver. Tyler Lockett. They'll probably price up Richardson as the number 1, but look for Tyler Lockett. Russell Wilson, you know, he's not the guy that's going to get you 30 completions a game. He's the guy that's going to get you 15 completions and 330 yards. Big plays. Tyler Lockett, guys, all right? Tyreek Hill, not a fan this week against Washington, but you never know. Devontae Parker had a horrible game. A horrible game. And then in the last minute, he got like 15 fantasy points. They literally called a timeout with 6 seconds left. And he caught like, there was less than a minute left. It was like 20 zip for the Jets. And then Miami had the ball. Pass to Parker, pass to Parker, pass to Parker. They're at the goal line with 6 seconds left. They call a timeout. They're down by 20, mind you, and they call a timeout at the end of the game and then throw a touchdown to Parker. This is like awesome. I had him, so I was loving it. Dez against the Rams, I love that play too. Landry, where was he? Well, where were the Dolphins for that matter? Alrighty, I think we'll call it there. Demaryius Thomas didn't have a great game. Look for him to bounce back against Oakland. Look for Denver to bounce back against Oakland. I think Oakland backslides a little bit. They have a really tough schedule. They have Denver, Baltimore, you know. Washington was the game they should have won. Like, they got 3 tough games coming out. Oh, and Kansas City. Oh my gosh. Anyways, alright, we're going to finish her off with tight ends. Gronk, obviously. I think Gronk is back. Gronk is back. He looks relatively healthy, I guess you could say. He's catching the ball. Ertz, against the Chargers, great play. Ertz and Wentz have a great rapport. Kelsey did not show up last game. Washington, look for him to bounce back this week. Reed, questionable again. Vernon Davis. If Reed doesn't play, pick up Vernon Davis. He looked great last game. Even if it's against KC, Vernon Davis is probably really cheap. Greg Olsen out again. So yeah, I like McCaffrey. They have no Olsen, no Benjamin. You gotta give it to somebody, right? McCaffrey should have a decent game. Delaney Walker. Tennessee in general just looking great. So I'm not sure about Delaney Walker against Houston though. But I mean, Gronk had a great game. But Gronk's a whole nother type of player. But Delaney Walker is also a very good tight end. One of the best. Jason Witten had a great game. Playing the Rams. Should have another great game. Charles Clay, Buffalo. This is the other thing, right? I was telling you guys. Buffalo, they use Shady McCoy. They use Charles Clay. He's like their #1 pass catcher to my knowledge. I like spending down at tight end, so Ryan Griffin, here's another one for Houston. They're playing Tennessee. He's their only tight end, and he's been doing all right. Colby Fleener, Willie Snead comes back. Colby Fleener is going to turn invisible again. Not touching him. Jack Doyle did not have a good game. Playing Seattle, watch he'll have a great game. Jared Cook did me great last week for Oakland. I picked him up. in the late slate of games, and he got the touchdown, the only touchdown. Playing Denver this week, never like that. But Charles Clay did great against Denver, so not necessarily a bad pick. Alright, so that's going to do it. Lots of picks. I just wanted to say thank you to Twista J for the donation last week. Like I said, if you want a line, I can help you guys make lineups. Send a donation to the address below, the No Limit coin address below. I'll give you my top plays of the week, sleepers of the week, tournament plays. I'll give you a lineup that I'm actually using. All right. Now, I'm not offering a money back guarantee like some people, but they're not. If you play $1,000 head-to-head and you lose, or $1,000 tournament, you're not getting your money back. Okay, like these guys are not giving you your money back. That's no. What they do is they offer you a free. The next week they'll offer you another free lineup. All right. So I'm not promising anything. I'm telling you what I'm doing, what my top plays are. You can. Twisted J, if you want to comment, how much money did you win last week in fantasy? I know he won a couple $1,000. So, and it's not like he took my all my advice. You know, he's like, oh, what are your plays? And I told him my lineup. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm thinking the same thing, and a lot of the same thing. And yeah, he cleaned up house. So just like I did. So yeah, guys, if you want a little bit of extra advice, or you want to line up. Send a donation, and just so everybody knows, part of my donations are going to I want to call it natural disaster relief. I have an address for that too. If you want to donate to Mexico, to the hurricanes, to anything like that, please do that. You know, guys, we're humans. We gotta help each other out, right? We all know. We all know. Let's just put it that way. If we want, we gotta look out for each other. You know, one love, one community, one nation. Like, it is what it is, guys. So, like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Facebook. Sign up for No Limit Fantasy Sports. The link is below. 10 free NLC coins. 25% deposit bonus. Have a chance to play against Joe Theismann, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Plays on No Limit Fantasy Sports. Please check this site out, guys. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Take it easy.